Okay, so this is a pretty huge deal. So basically we have a way to find a derivative now without doing all of that crazy limit stuff. So some of you are pretty happy right now. Your inner nerd is even super happier. Here's the big deal. So here is the rule we just talked about on the green sheet, right? The only restriction in is that n must be a constant. So as long as n is a number, you're good. If n is a variable, this does not work, okay? All right, the other thing that we need to talk about real quick is some of these properties. So I'm gonna go through them and then I will give you an example that I think will help make sense to you. All right, and so the first one is the sum and difference. So if you have a function that is made up of two other functions that are either added or subtracted together, okay, the derivative can be found by adding or subtracting the derivatives together. Okay, this hopefully is not too big of a surprise since this is based on limits, right? And so, for example, if I have x cubed plus x squared, if I want to find the derivative, I can use the power rule to take the derivative of this, 3x squared. I can use the power rule to take the derivative of that, 2x, and just add them together, and there's my answer. Okay? All right. Next one, constant multiplier. Okay, that's if you have some function where you have a number times another function, right? Just like with the limit rule, when you take the derivative, you can ignore the number and then just multiply it by the derivative of the function. So for instance, if you had something like y equals 3x to the 24, if I asked you to do that by hand, like last night, you would have been like, absolutely not, x plus h to the 24th, she's crazy, I'm never going to do that, right? Basically what I'm telling you is you can ignore the 3, take care of using the power rule just for that, so 24x to the 23rd, and then worrying about doing this multiplication for your final answer of 72x to the 23rd. Okay, so that makes life a lot easier. All right, constant function. So if you have a function that is just a number, okay, so k is a constant. Here's what the graph looks like, right? What is the slope of this line? Okay, side to side slope, that means this slope is always 0. So the derivative of any constant is just 0. So if I say, hey, if f of x is 10, what's the derivative? You are going to really easily just be able to tell me that it is 0. Okay, all right, so now we have enough information to go ahead and put this together and do some examples. All right, so let's check this out. You might want to pause this, try it yourself, and then check and see if it makes sense.